You're wearing the uniform, which means that you'll protect the First Amendment whilst castigating those that do. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Your uniform states, I will defend all your freedoms. But your stupid fucking logic says, I will defend all your freedoms except for this one. That's dumb. Get the fuck out of the service. I know I said that I wasn't gonna cover or do any videos regarding Charlie Kirk, but this is different. While I'm not overly excited to see normal people lose their jobs, because that's what most of the videos are, people making fun of it or cheering it, you know, they're getting fired from their jobs. But in this case, I am interested in it because it has to do with the armed forces. And if you don't know, I used to serve in the military, so this is very relevant to me. And it just makes me laugh because, of course, it's the officers, isn't it? Of course. I don't know, man. There could be some lower enlisted in there as well. But for the most part, I feel like the lower enlisted either don't care or didn't hear about it. Either because they were in the field or guess what? They're just too damn busy. All right, so this is properly titled Military Officers Fired for Celebrating Tragedy. All right, so the word fired could mean multiple things. It could actually mean a slew of different things in the military. Getting fired in the service doesn't mean you're out of the service, if you know what I mean. If you've ever served in the military, you know what I mean. You can be fired from a lot of shit, but that doesn't mean you're out of the military. I saw platoon leaders be fired from being platoon leader, which means that they were no longer in charge of their 60 guys. They probably got sent somewhere to like battalion, got stuck inside of an office, and were doing bitch duty, probably paperwork, working under some high-ranking colonel. In the officer world, that's fired. That is fired. You're still in the military. Oh yeah, you're still honorable and all that stuff, sure. But yeah, your ass is fired. Your ass is no longer leading troops. Your ass is in an office somewhere. When your rank and your experience and your knowledge could better help the service elsewhere, you're here because you're stupid. Another story. We had a platoon sergeant get fired from being our platoon sergeant. Why? Because he was the worst platoon sergeant in the world. In charge of, you know, roughly 35, 45 guys to checking baggage on a flight line. Yeah, that's what he got demoted to. He didn't get kicked out of the military. He didn't get stripped of rank. He just changed jobs. He just went from a job that would make him look good in the future for future promotion to doing a job where, you know, the future promotion board is going to ask him, why were you on this duty? Why did you get fired from being a platoon sergeant and got sent to bitch duty, you know, on a flight line checking bags, right? So, you know, when you do get fired in the military, there is repercussions. It's not always, hey, get the fuck out. I just wanted that to be known for everyone watching, because you may watch this and be like, oh no, they're still in the military. They didn't get fired. Wrong, man. You can get fired, and believe you me, it sucks getting fired, because like that shit goes with you. It's not like the civilian world where fired means get the fuck out. No, you can be fired in several different ways in the service.
Listen up, everybody. I see a video of you getting shot in the fucking neck or shot in the fucking face. Guess what? I'm gonna smile every fucking time.
I don't even know who that guy is. Whatever.
The world has become a stranger place ever since Charlie Kirk's assassination just under a week ago occurred.
Yeah.
And what many people saw as horrible and a degradation of our country's values, some people decided to jump on and turn it into a celebration.
Yeah.
Real nice.
Yeah.
And while the internet is having different reactions to those individuals celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk being fired from their jobs because they celebrated a assassination, there's no other word for it.
Yeah,
well,
that's
other
exactly
people
what it
are
was.
saying this is just the second half of the equation when you f around and find out.
And if you want to look at it this way, I mean, dude, I feel like it's borderline treason what that fucking guy did to Charlie, but not really, because as political as he spoke, he wasn't a politician. Now, the motherfuckers that have taken shots at Trump because he is POTUS, yeah, them motherfuckers would. I wonder if they did get charged with treason. I don't know.
People posting on social media celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk are military members.
Yeah, That's rough.
Not a good look.
No.
And Secretary of War now, Pete Hegseth, agrees and says, hey, maybe if you're going to swear an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States and wear the uniform, or which...
Oh, by the way, let me just tell you this, man, as someone who served in the military, just because you fight for our rights, just because you fight for the rights of this country, just because you fight for the American way, just because you fight for that right to freedom of speech that everybody enjoys, guess what? You don't get that luxury. Believe you me, you do not get that luxury in the military. The freedom of speech. Don't think for 1 second that you have it, because you don't. I had to learn the hard way. And I learned the hard way several times, man. And I even learned the hard way for shit that I posted on Facebook with my opinions. I learned the hard way from my superiors, man. And it wasn't a fun time learning the hard way. You think you have the freedom of speech because you fight for it and everyone else gets to use it. Guess what? Tough titties, you don't get to.
branch you're in, you probably shouldn't be celebrating political assassinations.
Yeah.
Could you use up to $800? Find it at BioLife. Up to $800 is waiting for you.
Message. And so today, I'm going to show you some of the absolute pieces of trash who actively serve defending the Constitution of the United States and people's First Amendment rights, I guess, that thought that supporting political assassinations while currently serving in the United States military was a good idea. Hey, you wanted attention?
You got it.
Now you're gonna get some of that attention. But first, a word from this video's sponsor, Fume. Ever feel like
Man, whenever I was popping off at the mouth, I didn't do it because I wanted attention. I did it for the sole reason of like, man, if I'm gonna fight for these goddamn rights that everyone's taking advantage of, I'm gonna use these goddamn rights that everyone's taking advantage of. I was wrong. It doesn't work that way. I'm telling you. It doesn't. Your life will be miserable and you wish that you had just shut the fuck up to begin with. I promise you. I promise you that's how it goes. And if you don't believe me, try it and you'll see.
I'm somebody that's been through enough investigations because I said an officer's name in a video, even though they might have done something wrong and stupid. Because as an enlisted man, I still have to adhere to a universal code of military justice, customs and courtesies. I have to make sure that the chain of command isn't being torn down by some of the things that I say. And sometimes that boils down to the simple things of you don't get to say the officer's name, or say that they're dumb, or say that you wish that they were, because that would degrade good order and discipline. And if you want to degrade good order and discipline in the military service, well, one way might be promoting or siding with and supporting terrorist acts causing the assassination of a political opponent. And in case you're too dumb to understand what I'm saying...
And dude, you know how stupid you are doing that publicly in the face of the enemy? If I was the enemy, you know what I would do? I would get like a contractor, some type of recruiter that's really savvy, good speaker, very charismatic to come and talk to you and probably try to recruit you into divulging secrets because now we know just how much big of a piece of shit you are. You celebrate assassinations. What more are you willing to do?
If Jesse Jackson was shot in cold blood by an assassin, and then a bunch of military members started posting racial epithets about his death,
that'd be
you
bad.
would say, hey, those guys support a terroristic act. They probably shouldn't be in the military defending our Constitution, considering that goes directly against our Constitution.
Yes.
Man, State Farm made $104 billion. Progressive made $61 billion. You think that's by accident? Look, I've been in this business for...
So yeah, kind of a big deal when you decide that you're going to show support for a terroristic act silencing political foes with...
You know what was something that I posted while I was deployed? It was like a paragraph. It was kind of like a fucking rant too, but it was to the effect of, why the fuck are we here? Someone's benefiting. Who's benefiting? Who's gaining? Who's actually losing? Who's actually winning? What are we doing? What is like... My superiors did not like that shit. Especially one of my first line supervisors, who was a sergeant. I'll even say his name too, because I mean, me and him are, I guess, cool now, I suppose. Friendly towards one another. Sergeant Fortney, man, he did not like that at all whatsoever. And he pulled me aside, and because at the time he was a sergeant and didn't like crazily outrank me, I kind of just like in one ear out the other. Shut the fuck up, Sergeant Fortney, I don't care. Then, the actual platoon sergeant, the big dog, the big guy. I actually feared this guy, Sergeant Torres, E7, Ranger Tab, Air Assault, Airborne. He pulled me aside too. He's like, hey, I understand all the shit that you're thinking and saying. I get it, copy. However, you can't be posting that shit, man. So, internalize it, keep it to your goddamn self, and just carry on. Copy. I was like, he's like, copy? Yes, Sergeant Roger. We don't have to have this conversation again, do we? That was his voice. I was like, no, we don't. And I just gave up the fight. I was like, fuck it. I can't say whatever the fuck. I just can't be saying shit. I can't give an opinion. I can't give my thoughts. I can't say how I feel. That's when it started, very early on into my first deployment. I just internalized everything, just fucking locked it in. If it made me mad, whatever. If it was stupid, whatever. If it didn't make sense, whatever. Fuck it. Who cares? I'm just ready to go home.
So now that I've kind of given my baseline for what's going on, let's get into some of these military members that have said some dumb things. Shall we? Well, here's Hayes Barber, serving in the United States Navy, and he decided that he would make a long post on Instagram.
I'm not reading all this.
Ham Gone Ham is his name. Wow, you really sure have gone ham.
Jesus.
Well, he starts off his little post that says, and be clear, call my command. All right,
okay.
buddy, I guess we will. Well, what is it that you're saying that's getting people so upset that some people might say is, I don't know.
So, dude, you know what command hates more? Actually, I don't think they hate it more. I think they hate this above all. They hate getting phone calls about their troops. Your troop did this. Your troop said this. Your troop was behaving in this way. They fucking hate it, dog. They hate it. They hate it. They hate it. They hate it. They fucking hate it. Have fun, guys. All of you that are about to get fired and probably demoted and probably sent to fucking KP duty, that'd be hilarious, wouldn't it?
Supportive of a terroristic act and the assassination of a political rival? He was not an elected official. He was a violent, hateful bigot who built a platform specifically to push an agenda that endangered multiple marginalized groups. He was a Nazi and a Christian nationalist. He was a threat to American democracy, and I'm fucking glad he's dead. Not only am I allowed to say this, I have a moral obligation based on the oath that I swore.
You think you're allowed to say it. Oh, guys, this one's gonna learn. Oh, y'all are all about to learn something that I learned very early on into my military career, man. Very early on. And it was when I deployed. I had a lot of thoughts. I had a lot of opinions. I had a lot of shit to say my first deployment. But after that conversation with Sergeant Torres, I never gave my opinion again. I never gave my thoughts again. I was like, fuck it. I'll just bitch about the things that I can control, because I can't control any of this. And even if I had the answers, what would that do me? Fucking nothing. I'm still in this shithole, right? So, but y'all are about to learn. Some of y'all have been in the military for how long? Oh, something y'all should know already, but oh, Lord.
Well, you see, it's your horrible nature where you perverted that oath. You see, bud, what you're not allowed to do while serving in the United States military is support political assassination of people that don't see eye to eye with you. And let me give you an example, because you're obviously too dumb to understand what your oath is. When it comes to protecting the constitutional rights of people, it's not for the ones that you just agree with, you stupid fascist cat. Yeah. And I mean that literally, and you're a fat.
Yeah, that was one thing that was really hard for. It wasn't hard for me to wrestle with, but it kind of got under my skin. I was like, oh my god, all these people in this country that I just detest, but I still fight for their freedoms too. Ugh, I'm still fighting for the freedoms of people that I wouldn't spit on them if they were on fire. But hey, that's the job. I got over that shit.
Fascist, because you are legitimately saying, I'm glad that murder, that assassination of a political rival happened, so that he could be silenced and nobody could hear his opinions anymore. Wait a second, do you hear that? Well, it's the Secretary of War making a tweet over there on X. And what does he have to say? Well, he's going to be looking into all of these accounts and all these military members showing support for the political assassination of a...
Oh, they're all about to start like deleting their Twitters and hiding all their shit and trying to like obfuscate anything on their electronic devices. I just want y'all to know that's not going to work, man. And if the Secretary of War really wants to investigate it, guess what he's going to do? And guess what he can do? He can confiscate all of your electronics. Oh, and guess what? They can get into your accounts. You think a password's going to save you? Guys, I got to go to my niece's t-ball game. We'll finish this video when I get back. I started doing this a little bit too late. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. My bad. Who won? It's fucking t-ball, man. Everybody wins. But it was a good time. She did good. Well, better than last time. She didn't cry this time.
It's almost as if these people are so narrow-minded that they forget that if you allow the assassination of somebody that you disagree with spouting words, whether or not it's of hate or love or peace or war, if you support the killing of that person because they disagree with you, what's to prevent the other side from thinking the same way?
Exactly.
Oh, hey, that Navy guy thinks opposite of me and he supports political assassination.
And it's just gonna spark more internal strife than anything else. I mean, yeah, civilians will get mad at you, but what if you have another service? But what if you have another service member that feels just like those civilians, and he's like, well, you know what? If you feel this way, I feel this way. I'm gonna fuck kill you first. And it just like it breeds. It's cancerous. It's like being on a team, man, like baseball, football, soccer, and you have that one cancerous ass teammate, man. That one cancerous ass teammate. If that shit goes unchecked, that'll ruin the whole fucking team.
If I believe what he believes and we're on the same even footing, then I should be able to murk him.
Exactly.
Maybe that's why we don't think that way.
Yeah.
But hey, bud, can't wait to see you kicked out of the middle.
Yeah, he's gonna get kicked out. I guarantee the people making these comments, they've never seen combat. Because once you've seen that side of humanity, you don't think like that anymore. Like, yeah, do I still have, like, psychotic thoughts in my head? I do. Sometimes I don't have very good thoughts in my head at all, but I keep it to myself. I don't tell anyone. I don't open up to anyone that way. And I damn sure when I was in uniform, I tried to give my opinions, but I stopped because that's not what the military hired you for. That's not why they recruited you. They didn't recruit you for your opinions, for your thoughts, for your brains, nothing. They recruited you to either one, lead, or two, pull the trigger. That's it. Or whatever job it is that you do. Do your job and shut the fuck up, man. I know that you probably hate to hear that as an officer because you probably think you have so much power. You have the rank and everything. You have the rank and everything, right? That won't save you.
Military because you're a fascist piece of shit. And that's not just saying a word. You literally are a fascist because you believe in executing people that think differently than you.
Yeah.
Boom! Roasted! Next! Let's go back onto IG with somebody that's got, 575 followers. Good thing you posted this out there to all of those tens of people. Captain Williamson, USMC, Marine Officer Recruiter. Officer has to say about this. Another racist man popped with a cheers and obviously a photo of Charlie. That's fantastic. We've got another officer here saying that if he disagrees with you politically and thinks that whatever you say is racist, well, you deserve to get popped. Way to follow your oath there, Ted. Glad to know that some guy sitting in the middle of an auditorium in a college having a discussion with people.
I just don't understand. You should know that, like, even if no one tells you, even if you weren't like me and you learned the hard way, you should just at the very least know that when it comes to this kind of stuff, you should probably shut the fuck up as a service member, because above all else, you always have to maintain, what is it, ladies and gentlemen? What is it? What is it? Say it with me. Professionalism. That's what it is. At the end of the day. Can you feel the way you want to feel? Absolutely. But bro, at the end of the day, it's about professionalism. And when you make the military look bad, guess what? It's your ass. It doesn't matter if you feel that you're in the right or that whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter if you're sitting on moral high ground. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if you're right. It doesn't. You just shut the fuck up. You can't say anything.
That is such a threat to you and your fragile fucking brain that you need to celebrate the death of an American. You realize that there's men that you serve with that look up to you that might have similar ideas as Charlie Kirk. Not saying racist ones. I'm saying, you know what? The family is something that we should really get behind. You know, the breakdown of the American family.
Like, dude, I would have been equally as angry if this would have happened to Don Lemon. Do y'all have any idea how much I detest Don Lemon? I hate that man more than anything in this. Well, some bitches off The View. I hate this fucking guy. And the older I get, the harder it is for me to hate, because hate takes energy. But oh, brother, Don Lemon brings it out in me, bro. He really does. But even I, as much as I dislike that man, do not want what happened to Charlie Kirk to happen to him. As much as I hate him, as much as I detest the way he speaks, his thoughts, his logic, the way he views the world, I can't stand him. I don't think he should be killed. And I guess that's the difference between me, us, and all you sick, twisted fucking degenerates with a mental illness.
According to the captain, you could just get murked for that, and that's totally fine because you're obviously somebody that he disagrees with. Awesome! The Officer Corps celebrating an assassination? Right. Jesus. Could you imagine if modern day MLK got murked and all of a sudden your commander was just like, good thing that black guy's dead.
Right.
Huh? Spouting off stuff about equality.
So stupid.
People being the same, and we need to love one another, treat each other with respect. We don't you bullshit at that. How comfortable would you feel if you were under that leader? Oh, but you can do that. You can do that. That's okay, right? Oh, and what about an airman? Let's get an airman in on this. How we're going for every freaking
all branches, huh? Good God.
branch today. Hey there, Airman Smith. What do you
Watch the Space Force not have anyone that's behaving retardedly. Watch it be the Space Force that sets the example. Oh my God, imagine.
gotta say about this? Oh, the chickens came home to roost, huh? So saying words while chilling out at a college campus having absolutely no physical threat to anybody at all is totally acceptable to take that guy out with the bullet. It's totally okay to violently react to somebody saying words, right? What about tweets? Maybe people that are reading your tweets that see that as an act of violence against them could act out on you, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's your chickens coming home to roost.
Pretty
much.
much.
But we don't see things that way. It's only
because consequences, man.
And let me tell you, I love it when they put smiley face emojis in their little responses and in their posts and comments, because then it tells me exactly what your emotions are. You Airman Smith, are happy that he's dead, killed because of his political beliefs, doing absolutely no violent acts whatsoever. You're happy. I love that. That shows me intent. So then that way, when you go up to your supervisor and they're like, hey, you were celebrating this guy's death, and you say, no, I wasn't. I was just talking about how, I saw
Nah, bro, you told on yourself. You told on yourself.
things and blah, 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 and I didn't have any joy or happiness in there whatsoever. And they can hold up a photo of your fucking tweets and your comments and go, then why you got smiley faces all in it? Then why are you looking so happy? Disgusting. Get out. Everybody say hi to Guillermo. Hey there, Guillermo. How you doing? Looks like officer rank on your chest. Can't tell if you're a major or not. Boy, that would be insane. Let's read what you wrote. Ladies and gentlemen, the Constitution exists to protect you from government persecution. It does not protect you from being held accountable for your actions by other people. If you choose to make a living by actively talking crap and pissing people off, you should expect for someone to want to hurt you someday. No!
I mean, that's what you call it. Actively talking crap and pissing people off. That's your perception of it. Because you could say the very same thing about Martin Luther King. He was pissing people off with his words. Were his words bad? No, he was advocating for good. But for those times, he was also pissing people off. To some people's perception, he was also talking crap. He was trying to go in the right direction. One thing I learned from Charlie, well, I didn't learn it from Charlie, but one thing that stuck out to me, one thing that he said is that whenever we stop talking, that's when violence happens. And guess what? Y'all took violence to keep him from talking. It doesn't matter where he comes from after that point. The fact that he had to be silent, that's something that should piss everybody off. Whether you agree with the rhetoric or not, whether you agree with the message or not, you should be allowed to say what you want to say. And this was just a guy trying to push a message and have a conversation about topics that people usually they just scream at each other about over social media. But he brought the microphone, he brought real world problems to the forefront of conversation, and he had them. Whether they were uncomfortable, difficult, or they made you mad, that's something that he did, and that's something that people in this country like to see, man, because you're putting yourself out there. You're doing something that no one else really wants to do, man. And I'm telling you, when you get silenced because of your thoughts, that's a deeper rooted problem, and that's indicative of something uglier going on in society. And that's not something that you should root for, because that's society devolving. Why would you want your society to devolve that way? Out of all the people we've seen, these people don't look like they've been deployed a single day in their life. What can you expect, ladies and gentlemen, from fucking fobbits? What can you expect from a fobbit? Not much, man. And officers at that, I've always known y'all were useless. Now y'all are exposing yourselves. I don't actually have to go out and find y'all. Y'all are like, hey, over here, I'm useless. It's so stupid.
talking crap and pissing people off, you should expect for someone to want to hurt you someday. No, bud, no, that is not how the Constitution works. The Constitution isn't just a thing that protects the government or us from the government. It also tells us our individual rights from one another. Like the First Amendment, I have the right to speak. That means that another person, including a government, can't stop me from...
And the fact that you're cheering his death is the fact that you're cheering for the right not to speak. You're wearing the uniform, which means that you'll protect the First Amendment whilst castigating those that do. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Your uniform states, I will defend all your freedoms. But your stupid fucking logic says, I will defend all your freedoms except for this one. That's dumb. Get the fuck out of the service.
That means an individual's rights don't trump my own just because they have a different view or opinion. And it's very confusing when you say that if you make a living talking crap, you should expect somebody to hurt you. No, you shouldn't.
Stephen A. Smith makes his living talking shit. And he shouldn't be hurt ever. No one should ever think about hurting him. No one should ever take violence against him. For what? Fucking pointless. He gives his opinions. He talks shit about sports. And then that's it. He makes his living talking shit. He's not afraid of getting shot, and he shouldn't have to be.
No, you shouldn't. That's absolutely not what you should expect. If you're sitting around having a political dialogue with somebody and they might disagree with you vehemently.
Rich, it's vehemently. Not whatever. Not whatever you said. I knew what you meant, though.
And they might disagree with you vehemently.
Not yet. Vehemently. I got you. The fuck did you just say?
Vehemently.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they get to get up, pull out a pocket knife, and then stab you in the chest a couple of times. But for your logic, somebody going around and talking shit is enough for you to pop them in the face. Well, Guillermo, I really hope that you're not that short-sighted, because other people could read that and say, well, this guy is supporting the assassination of an American.
And if you support assassinations of Americans, what else could you quite possibly fucking support? A slew of other dumb, retarded shit, that's what.
What could this guy possibly serve? We should probably fire him. That's the way that I would see it as, right? Because fuck around and find out. You said something that's pissing people off.
Mm-hmm. And you were talking shit, just like you claimed that Charlie was. It's a vicious cycle.
And therefore, you should expect, by your logic, you should expect to be fucked with now. Do you see how that works?
Yeah.
Do you see how you're fucking dumb and how you shouldn't be in charge of troops? How does your brain go from, hey, you know what? You said some things that I didn't like, so that means people get to hurt.
This is like a cop saying, "Good, I'm glad George Floyd died." Do you really expect him to keep his job? Huh? Would anybody be surprised if he was fired? No, because when you say shit, there's consequences. Not all the times. I can go outside right now and say, hey, fuck sourdough bread. No one's gonna do anything, man, unless I have a psychopath neighbor that is truly in love with sourdough bread and he took that as a slight. But that's not the thing, right? So it just really depends, man. It's like, y'all are so dumb and short-sighted with your whole ass military career. You went to college, you went to okay, first off, you went to college, you went to basic training, and then you went to your OCS, and then you finished OCS, and then you went back to more training, and then you went to your unit, and then you spent years trying to acquire the rank of captain, which is what I'm assuming most of you are, because I don't feel like a butter bar is this retarded. And then that's essentially, what I just mentioned is essentially 7 to 8 years worth of service to make it to captain. To make it to captain or above. At the very least, 5-ish to 7 years worth of work that a lot of y'all just threw away because you couldn't control your emotions.
And not only do people get to hurt you, you should expect them to do that. Whew, what a
So because you were talking shit and because you were pissing people off, now you're about to get fired from the service. Some of y'all might get fired all the way. And they'll probably hit you with conduct unbecoming of a commissioned officer. That is probably what they'll hit you with.
dangerous world you must live in. How many times have you been smacked across the face by a sergeant major for saying something f***ing stupid?
I've been smacked across the face for saying stupid shit quite a few times. The last time it happened was by a bouncer. It was a fuck around and find out situation, and I found out very fast. Yeah, and especially with military service members, I've had several high-ranking NCOs be like, Falcon, shut the fuck up. Now. Sorry. Okay. Got you.
Is it 0? Is it f***ing 0? Then why don't you sit the f*** down and get the f*** out of my army, you piece of shit. And let's take this one all the way home with the full bird f***ing colonel. Everybody welcome Scott Stevens.
Full bird colonel. You shouldn't be leading troops. At all whatsoever. Oh my god. Full bird colonel behaving this way? You're right up there with Colonel Jessup. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Colonel Jessup? You can't handle the truth. Private Santiago's death, while tragic, saved lives. Not funny, but good God, that's the sentiment right here.
To the show, boo, boo, Scott, no clapping, just boo.
Yep.
The death of Charlie Kirk in Utah was tragic. However, we can take comfort in the fact that Charlie was doing what he loved best. Spreading messages of hate, racism, homophobia, misogyny, transphobia on college campuses. It also allows us to see who in our lives supports those views. I would offer empathy, but Charlie hated empathy, as we have been told in the wake of
I support the views of being able to say whatever you want.
tragedies. We have to move on. We can't make this political. He spent years inciting political violence to die the victim of it. Tragic for sure. Certainly aren't going to argue that. But everyone shouldn't be shocked when the leopards actually eat your face. Oh my God, we shouldn't be shocked when somebody says words we disagree with and they die? That's the country that we've become? That's the country you want to live in? That's what you think is supporting the Constitution, defending it from all threats, foreign and internal?
Yeah.
Seems like you're kind of a threat if you're all about people getting stabbed, shot, and beat up for words that they say. And really, please, tell me where Charlie incited violence. This is one of those things where I just see that.
I would like to see it, but he didn't. He spoke in a way, and he was really smart, that a lot of dumb people couldn't figure out what he was saying. That's just what it was. And when dumb people feel dumb, and you make them feel dumb, sometimes because they are dumb, they resort to violence to cope with the fact that they're fucking dumb. That's a lot of people that Charlie Kirk would talk to in his public debate forums that he would do. Fucking idiots. Not a lot of them were college kids, but still, buffoons. And just like a guy that loses a fight and can't take the fact that he lost, what does he do? He goes to his car, grabs his gun, comes back, and shoots the person that beat him. It's cowardice.
You're dumb right away. Taking talking points from some talking head on CNN or MSNBC.
Yeah.
Well, somebody said this one thing, so I'm going to take it at face value and not look up at all what they said. And then I'm going to say, well, you deserved it. Don't be surprised when you end up dead because you said that, being a Christian is difficult and it's made your life a lot better and people should follow that because it worked so well for you. Oh, what a disgusting thing for him to say. Mm-hmm. Or that college is a ripoff because people are getting indoctrinated in college with left-leaning views and that's ruining the country because now the education...
And you know what's funny about the whole college is a scam thing? I came to that fucking conclusion decades ago. Before Charlie Kirk got out there and started saying it. I came to that conclusion decades ago. And then Charlie comes out and says it in public and everyone loses their fucking minds. And it's just like, have y'all been asleep, man? Have y'all been asleep? I see kids that drop out their sophomore year and make more than a lot of you that have master's degrees. Explain that shit to me. Fucking how? Because it's a scam. Okay.
education system is just pushing out people with one-sided views, which is segregated. And that's not good. We don't want segregation. Well, you know what I don't want? I don't want a full-bird colonel in charge of me who thinks that, hey, it's because you disagree with me, you deserve what you...
And even if you think what you think and what you think is fucking stupid and you're celebrating it, keep it to yourself. But the fact that you voiced it, I don't want to work for you either. At all. In the fucking slightest. I don't give a fuck about the views. I only give a fuck about the action.
Get when you get shot or stabbed on the street by some masked guy in a fucking Antifa outfit at a protest because you think that abortion...
Oh, that actually triggered me for a second. Fuck Antifa, or Anquifa, as I like to call you pathetic, cowardly fuckers.
...is bad, and he's screaming, right to choice, as he stabs you in the neck. Now, I know that there are a lot more negative posts about Charlie, even from the military. And I just wanted to talk about these few. Now, I wasn't gonna bring up anybody that said, I disagree with him, or I don't like him, or some of the stuff that he said was bad. I specifically stuck with...
When it comes to Charlie Kirk, it's not that the way I viewed Charlie Kirk's content is that there was shit that I agreed with. I was like, you're on the right track. And there's shit that I was just like, I don't know, man. I actually don't really give a fuck about what we're talking about. I kind of viewed Charlie's content the same way that I viewed Andrew Tate. Some things he says, I'm like, right on. That's, yes, exactly. And then other things, I'm just like, not really. It doesn't ruin my day. It doesn't make me mad. It doesn't make me want to shoot someone.
People that were siding with a terrorist act.
Yeah.
An assassination because of their political views.
Yeah.
That's all I decided to do today. Because you're allowed to disagree. You're allowed to say that you didn't like Charlie. You're allowed to say that you disagreed with some of the things that he said. I know I have disagreed with some of the things that Charlie has said.
Yeah, same.
But as Americans, what you don't get...
Same. You can disagree, you can agree. There's a lot of people, man, that I agree with them for certain things and disagree with them for others. And that's okay. That is okay. The fact that y'all don't think that's okay, that just speaks volumes about who you are as a person. You're not fully mentally developed if you can't disagree with someone and not shoot them. You're not okay in the head. You shouldn't be serving. You shouldn't be a cop. You shouldn't be anyone with any kind of responsibility when it comes to decision making. You shouldn't.
Because here's the thing that you don't understand, people who are supporting this. If anybody can get shot because you disagree with them,
you're not safe either.
We are all going to live in a horrible country where political massacres occur weekly. So on that note, hug your family members, pray for wisdom, which so many people lack nowadays, to the point that they'll jump on TikTok and start dancing over the death of another American. Best way to support the channel is
I chalk that up to college kid, like the kids celebrating it in college. I'll meet you halfway. I can kind of understand. When have college kids ever not been awful? Remember back in the Vietnam days? Make babies, not napalm or something like that. I don't know what the fuck they were saying. A whole bunch of tree huggers that were spitting on the troops, shit talking the troops, especially the black troops, because, you know, racism back in that time. The college kids of then were no better than the college kids of now. College kids, the young college kids, man, they've always been counterculture. They've always been anti anything. If you say it's good, they're gonna say fuck you. If you say it's bad, they're gonna want it, right? That's just the college kid condition, I feel. And not just the college kid condition, it's just the young person condition. I remember being a kid, man. I remember being young. I remember being 21 years old, and you try to find or just do things that are just against the status quo or against what everyone else is doing. You're just like, nah, fuck that, even if it's good, right? So I can somewhat understand it, but from the people that are like older than me or like my age or just like regular people, y'all are just throwing it away for nonsense. And it doesn't make any fucking sense. And especially career people like this, like these military officers, throwing it away for nothing. You really think you made you really think you made an impact or a difference with your comments? No. But now you're about to feel the impact of your comments. That's for fucking sure. So let's read some comments. Sorry if I talked a little much in this video. I had a lot to say and I had a lot of thoughts on this particular subject, especially since it involves the military, and me being prior service, I had some thoughts to share. So let's read y'all's thoughts on the whole thing. One of my drill sergeants once told me, "Here's what every serviceman's political opinion should be. Shut the fuck up. Await orders. Never forget that particular nugget of wisdom. Where, when, and in what uniform. That's the only thing you should be thinking." I've been out of the military for 10 years, but I distinctly remember I was not allowed to have an opinion. Same here. Same here. And I had plenty on Obama, but I kept them to myself. Wow, she's been out of the military for about as long as I have. Yeah, I served under Obama, and I had a lot of fucking thoughts. I had a lot of opinions on Obama, why we were in Afghanistan, why we kept going to Afghanistan, why we kept sending troops to Afghanistan. One time, while I was in Afghanistan, bro, I pulled security on a marijuana field. And in my head, I'm just like, I thought we were in combat. What is this? What are we doing? Why are we here? Why is that there? What are we protecting? Who are we protecting? What is happening? What is going on? And guess what, guys? Guess what? I was not high enough rank to know what the fuck was going on. No one cared to inform me about anything, and guess what? The military wouldn't have run any better or any worse had I known what was going on, but I didn't know what was going on, and I kept asking questions, and I remember one time I was deployed. I went to my first line supervisor, Sergeant Vasquez. I was like, "Sergeant Vasquez, why are we here?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Why are we here in this country?" And he's like, "Falcon, I don't have time for your shit. Go away." I was like, "Okay." When my platoon sergeant, I went up a rank. Went to my platoon sergeant. "Yo, Sergeant, why are we here?" "I don't understand the question. What do you mean?" "Why are we in this country?" "Falcon, stop asking me stupid fucking questions. Go away. I'm trying to enjoy my TV show." Okay. I went up a rank higher. I went to my first sergeant. "First sergeant, why are we here?" And just like the others, man, he was like, "Falcon, I don't understand. What do you mean? What do you want?" And I was like, "I just want to know why we're here in this country doing the job that we're doing. Like, what is this? What is the goal? What is the final plan?" He said, "Falcon, get out of my office." In my head, I was like, bet, time to go up a rank. Let's go ask the commander. Right before I left the office, my first sergeant was like, "And don't go to the commander asking stupid fucking questions like that, okay?" I was like, all right, fine. So I left. Very next day, I saw the commander by the dining facility. I was like, here's my chance. Let's go ask this motherfucker. "Sir, why are we here in this country? Can you tell me?" And unlike the other three that I had asked, their immediate response was, "What do you mean?" I asked my commander the very same question. He didn't ask me what I meant. He gave me the most CNN milquetoast political commentator answer I think I had ever heard. And when I heard that, I was just like, yep, it's chalked. No one knows why we're here. No one knows anything. Not even the highest ranking motherfucker knows. And I started to make a thing out of this to where anytime I would encounter someone new, I would ask them. And I asked so many people that eventually one of my squad leaders was like, "Falcon, can you shut the fuck up with this? Can you just stop? Please, just for the sake of all of us, just fucking stop. What are you even getting at?" I was like, exactly. I don't know. I don't know. Colonel Stevens was my commander the last time I was in Iraq. He was a piece of shit then and just got worse over the years. Oh, get fucked, Colonel Stevens. Well, that's gonna do it, guys. I gave my thoughts, gave my opinions, hopefully I gave decent enough commentary on this video to where, you know, the ones that never served or don't have any family members that served at least have a grasp or an idea as to what this is like in the service, because stuff like this, it's different than it is in the civilian world. If you're not in the military or not a veteran or don't have a family member, hopefully you learned something from me at the very least through all of this. So that's gonna do it. Sorry I didn't go live today. My niece had a t-ball game and I really wanted to see that. She does this thing where she hits the ball, but instead of running to first base, she runs directly toward the ball and tries to pick it up. So she hits it and immediately runs and tries to pick up the ball. And we're just like, no, just fucking go to first. It's a good time, man. But all right, that's gonna be it. Love y'all. Hope y'all have a good day. Hope y'all have a good evening, and I will see y'all soon.